South China Sea is an important global trade route as well as a potential source of hydrocarbons, particularly natural gas, with rival claims to ownership of the sea and its resources. The South China Sea is one of the world's most important commercial routes, stretching from Singapore and the Malacca Strait in the southwest to the Taiwan Strait in the northeast. The sea is rich in resources and has strategic and political significance. Territorial claims and legal standing. Several Asian countries have competing claims to the South China Sea and its resources. There has been no international resolution of these conflicts to date. Historically, the South China Sea has been a source of contention among its states. Other claimants harass fishing boats from one country, resulting in civilian fatalities on occasion. Companies authorized by one government to search for oil and natural gas have been refused entry to disputed areas by armed ships of other claims. Military clashes have occurred on a regular basis between the coastal countries, with China capturing the Paracel Islands from Vietnam in 1974. Legal standing. Japan claimed the Spratly and Paracel Island chains during World War II. After Japan surrendered its claims, the 1951 Treaty of Peace with Japan did not specify who would take possession of the Spratly and Paracel Islands. The United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, has failed to resolve South China Sea ownership disputes. The 1982 convention established a variety of principles for the status of islands, continental shelf, exclusive economic zones, EEZ, confined seas, and territorial boundaries. According to the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, parties with overlapping claims must address them through good faith dialogue. Islands can produce their own EEZs and delimit continental shelves, according to Article 121 of the Third Union Convention on the Law of the Sea, 1973. Simply occupying an island does not automatically provide these rights, especially in contentious areas. The real question is whether these land masses should be classified as rocks and islets or as actual islands. Article 121(3) of the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea states that rocks that cannot sustain human habitation or economic life on their own shall have no exclusive economic zone or continental shelf. Territorial claims. Brunei. Brunei has made no formal claims to the Spratly and Paracel Islands. However, the government has claimed a continental shelf that extends to a notional median with Vietnam since 1985. According to Malaysia, the proper maritime boundary between Brunei and Malaysia, when both nations were British possessions, was established by the 1958 UK Order in Council at 100 fathoms from the coast. Despite the absence of legal claims, Brunei's continental shelf claim indicates possession of the Louisa Reef, which technically belongs to the Spratly Islands archipelago. Brunei's claims in this area have been disputed by China, including Taiwan, Malaysia, Vietnam, and the Philippines. Cambodia. Cambodia claims areas of the Gulf of Thailand based on its EEZ and the notion of continental shelf, as well as its history in the Gulf. Cambodia and Vietnam signed the Agreement on Historic Waters in 1982, laying the groundwork for future collaboration between the two countries. Cambodia and Vietnam stated their intention to share the Gulf of Thailand's oil resources in 2006. Cambodia has no similar treaties with Thailand or Malaysia. Cambodia has not asserted any claim to the South China Sea. China. China's claim to the islands is based on historical naval operations dating back to the 15th century. The Republic of China's Kuomintang government produced an official map with a 9-dashed line showing the length of Chinese land in 1947, and this map has been used in official correspondence ever since. The UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, which limits state power to a nation's territorial seas or specially designated exclusive economic zones, has been ratified by all of the sea's coastal states, EEZs. The 9-dashed line was submitted to UNCLOS in 2009 as China's claim beyond 200 nautical miles. However, it is unclear whether China claims the land features within the line and the EEZs they would create, or the entire area within the line. On Chinese SCS maps, China refers to the Spratly Islands, Paracel Islands, Pratas Island, and Scarborough Reef as Nansha Chuandao, Shisha Chuandao, Dongsha Chuandao, and Huangyan Dao, respectively, claiming all surfacing and undersea features inside the 9-dashed line. Scarborough Reef, which is also claimed by the Philippines, is seen by China as part of the partially dried Macclesfield Bank, Zhongsha Chuandao. The 9 dashes from Kuomintang maps, prepared in 1947, were approved by China, resulting in Taiwan's claims almost corresponding with China's. China claims the area enclosed by the dashes to be part of Hainan province and has referred to the marine space within it as Chinese territorial waters, an undefined word that does not appear to adhere to typical maritime regimes authorized under international law. Chinese archaeologists claimed that the islands in the South China Sea were once the site of fishing and mercantile activity, and Chinese records mention naval voyages into the South China Sea under the Han Dynasty in AD 110 and the Ming Dynasty from 1403 to 1433. China claims that the 1887 Sino-French Convention assigned all features east of 108 degrees 3 minutes east to China. In 1974, China took all of the Paracel Islands from Vietnam and occupied several of the Spratly Islands. China's claims are contested by Brunei, Malaysia, the Philippines, and Vietnam. In June 2012, China announced the establishment of Sansha, a prefecture-level city on the Paracel's woody island that will be directly administered by the central government, Yongxing. Sansha would be in charge of the Paracel Islands, the Spratly Islands, and the Macclesfield Bank. Indonesia. Indonesia's claim in the South China Sea is limited to the EEZ and continental shelf. The Spratly and Paracel Islands are not claimed by Indonesia. However, in 1996, Indonesia staged a large-scale military exercise in the sea, citing the necessity to provide security for Natuna Basin energy developments. Philippines. During excavations in the SCS, beginning in May 1956, the Philippines claimed Scarborough Reef and a major chunk of the Spratly Islands as terra nullius, in no one's land. It has dubbed the Spratly Islands the Colayan, Freedom Island Group and occupies many of them. It distinguishes the Spratlys and Scarborough Reef as a different regime of islands from the rest of the Philippine archipelago. The Philippines' claims are opposed by China, including Taiwan, Malaysia, and Vietnam. Taiwan, like China, claims historic sovereignty over all features marked with dashes on a map released by the Kuomintang administration in 1947, including the Spratly Islands. Regional tensions and efforts at mediation. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, has emerged as a key forum for South China Sea claimants to dialogue. Although China and Taiwan are not members of ASEAN, a number of working groups with China and Taiwan have been held on problems with the potential to create the partnerships needed to settle the region's more contentious challenges. In 1990, Indonesia held the first discussion workshop and has since taken the lead in diplomatic endeavors and cooperative agreements to address SCS issues. However, at the last ASEAN gathering in Jakarta in 2012, the members failed to reach any resolution.